Hello and welcome to today's 42nd episode of Something Newsy. I'm David Bohnet.
I'm Kari.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Frankie.
And welcome. Today we are attempting to wade into the difficult world and troubling of the transfer of transfer troubles. This pretty much elicits the entire thing we're talking about here. Transferring here at Mesa College is difficult, and we're trying to figure it out. We've had some success. Kari has figured out how she's going to be transferring. Where are you transferring to, Kari?
I'm transferring to San Diego State University, but I'm also applying for Long Beach just Long Beach, because they do recommend you to apply for more than one school in case of rejection. And the way I went about it was, first I talked to my counselor. It's easier to do that because you kind of get a one-on-one meeting where they can guide you through the application. And the application for CSU schools is calstate.apply, I think. And yeah.
That sounds right. I know that with the in-state stuff, you can actually, what you're saying is that because they're state schools, you can do a direct apply through them. Is that right?
Yeah, yes.
Do you guys, I know, Frankie, you're looking at making a transfer situation go on. Are you doing a state school, or are you trying to try multiple schools, kind of the way that Kari is as well?
Yeah, I'm mainly looking at SDSU, but I would be happy to look at other schools as well.
What about you, Jacob?
Everybody's going to SDSU. I'm applying there, but I don't know, maybe this is pretentious because everybody seems to have so much trouble getting in, but it's my backup plan. I'm going
to state?
To San Diego State, because I have am going to have the transfer admission guarantee, hopefully. I just signed up for the last 2 classes for that. My preferred is Cal Poly SLO. And then I'm also going to apply to San Jose State because it's a good journalism school and I may as well. But that's really not something I'm seriously thinking about.
Just like what Kari said, they recommend you apply to multiple places.
They recommend you apply to at least 3.
At least 3.
Would out-of-state schools be included in that, like at least 3?
I think so. I wouldn't see why not.
It's a school.
Yeah, I guess so.
I know with San Diego State, we actually spoke to them. They had a kind of a on-campus where they had booths and everything out, kind of informational sessions with all the different schools. And when we stopped and talked to the San Diego State representative, they talked about a direct transfer that you could actually do if you hit certain qualifying classes. I think they said it was 4 different classes. I can't remember exactly right off the top of my head which ones they are, but you actually, as long as you take those classes and you submit and do it properly, then they actually guarantee admission. I'm sure that's not the case in the other ones.
Guarantee is there's an asterisk on that in that there is they call it a guarantee, but then they'll tell you there is no guarantee of admission.
Exactly.
But it's a very likely, if you have a high GPA, if you've done all the required classes, if you've done everything correctly, you're almost guaranteed. Like that 99.9% kills germs.
Right. There's always that little in there. Frankie, so have you begun any of your transfer situation at all?
I'm trying to. I've actually just been emailing back and forth with some counselors like, hey, help me, I don't really know what to do. Can you give me some pointers? So I'm probably going to go to a workshop on Friday the 20th coming up about transferring to SDSU. So I'm going to get the wheels moving, hopefully.
Nice.
The workshops, I went to one. It was helpful, but they mostly answered general questions.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't helpful to me, filling it out, I guess, because I have personal information and I can't share it.
What do you think would be most helpful?
An appointment with a counselor, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but the counselor I spoke to was like, oh, you should just go to the transfer center. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
that's my opinion.
So about the transfer center, just yesterday at 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon, I went to an online, a Zoom meeting for the transfer center. And it was actually very helpful. I got a lot done, and also realized my spring semester is going to be a lot fuller than I wanted it to be. But yeah, they helped me fill out a bunch of stuff. They helpfully informed me that the classes that I put for my SDSU prerequisites are all wrong.
That's helpful to know at least, right?
It's very helpful to know. 2 of them I have, I just did them the wrong way, and 2 of them I don't have. So you're speaking to a future Grossmont student because they don't offer it at Mesa.
Oh yeah, I had to do that too because they have a class. I think it's intro.
JMS 250.
Yeah, that one. They don't have it here.
They don't
'Cause they
directly correlate.
They don't have any, because it was just introduced like a year or 2 ago at State, and we don't have anything at Mesa. Grossmont does though, MCOM 250 or something like
Yeah,
that.
so you have to apply to Grossmont as well.
Specifically.
And that's going to be a fun
Yeah.
event.
Carrie, what other types of things did you find that were easy or difficult in filling out your direct applications?
I think filling out the prerequisites part was the hardest, especially with the class that Mesa doesn't offer. I think that's about it. Also, yeah, that's it.
No, that makes sense. I think that's exactly what Jacob's saying. So hitting a counselor up about all of the specific things are super important. You can find that online, sdmesa@edu. They actually have an email, mesatransfer@sdccd.edu. And I think it's, what is that, I-4, the 306, that's the building or the room that they're in as
Yeah.
well.
I have found it somewhat difficult to find counselors with any availability.
Oh.
Right now, it's like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
Here's the abbreviated guide. I know we only have so much time, so I'll be really quick about this. You get up, you get dressed, you do everything you need to do all before 9 in the morning. You sit down at your computer, it's 8:59 a.m. You count down the seconds. And the second before it hits 9:00 a.m., you refresh the page, and you get the first appointment you can find. It's like Taylor Swift concert tickets.
I thought the appointments
I've
were
been told.
released at 8 o'clock.
Or 8 o'clock.
I think it's 8 o'clock, yeah.
Maybe push all that advice
No,
back
it's
by
8
an hour.
o'clock, yeah.
He
I
was
think I
telling you that
remember.
advice so that he could get the 8 o'clock slot.
Oh,
9 o'clock,
okay.
you guys figured this out.
They found me out.
Okay, so it looks like a few of us are looking for SDSU transfers as well. I'm kind of in a weird situation where I actually already have a bachelor's degree. So I spoke to them about transfers, and they actually do not accept second bachelor transfers.
Oh.
So I would essentially have to apply for their master's program or pretty much apply for another degree just on its own. So whatever classes I'm actually doing here, don't even transfer it to State, which was a little disheartening to hear at the time, but I had been considering doing a master's anyways, but they actually recommended for me specifically to just go straight to State and speak with the journalism department or whomever I could get in touch with over there.
Yeah, you've got some special circumstances
Exactly,
there.
and that's a little, and it's a little different, I think, for everyone. So that's kind of what's fun. It does look like State offers that. Does anyone know what the actual time frame we have to apply
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
October 1st to November 30th for CSU.
for CSU?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for, I think, I don't know, I could be wrong about this, but I think also for the University of California, for UC. I think it's all, I don't know about when it starts, but I'm pretty sure it also closes on the 30th. One of them might be the 15th of December, I'm not sure. Basically, get it all done early.
One other thing that they mentioned, pretty much all of the people that we talked to at the booth situation, they said to be extra diligent when you're filling things out and making sure that it's accurate. Because accurate and on time almost guarantees you more visibility, because what happens, she was saying, is that if you do, or if you have inaccuracies in your application, that they flag your application and it pretty much sidelines you from being accepted. So that was pretty much the main thing she wanted us, as we kind of were leaving her, is to just make sure that we were doing things accurately, because if not, you might just hurt yourself, from being able to apply just by, putting wrong dates or putting wrong classes.
So yeah, on that subject, and this is something worth noting, not only for the people assembled here, but also for whoever may or may not be listening to this, something I learned at that transfer center meeting yesterday was very useful, very important information. If you, like me, like I think most people, are taking classes at more than one SDCCD campus, you have to put each of them down separately, and then put each of your classes at each campus down separately. So for example, this semester I have a geography class at Miramar, and let's say this journalism class at Mesa. You don't put both of those down under Mesa, even if it's your college of record, as it is for me. You put down Mesa, journalism for spring or fall 23, and you do geography at Miramar for fall 23, because they will just throw out your application.
Oh man, that's so convoluted.
Yeah.
Yep, it is a mess. It makes no sense. They should just have SDCCD, but that's why it's the trouble of transferring.
It's hard. It's like a lot of us have never done this before. I wish there was a more sympathetic process to it, you know?
Also, for your transcript, you have to put the classes you are going to take in future semesters.
Yeah.
Already? How do you know that? I mean, unless you're on a specific track, I feel like most people don't.
You plan it in advance.
You have to plan it in advance.
man.
And you cross your fingers. They don't have to drop any of them. Or, well, that's, for future, that's why they don't have you put the grade. They just don't let you. Oy vey.
So coming up, I think that there are a few opportunities to actually get in touch with counselors, to speak with specific schools. Do you guys know any specifically that you're looking at going? Frankie, you mentioned one that you have one coming up. Is it this week?
Yeah, this Friday I think I might stop by the workshop.
The workshops.
I have the same thing, but on Thursday. So.
If you go to the transfer center section of the Mesa website, it'll list all of the events that they've got going on.
Just note the location of the workshops, because it's not actually in the transfer center. It's like I-4201.
Yeah.
It looks like on October 17th at 12 p.m. they're having a transfer application open lab. That, I believe, is somewhere here on Mesa campus. It says Mesa Commons, perhaps. It looks like on October 19th, there's another transfer application open lab. I feel like those would be the good ones to kind of go in to figure out whether your classes can transfer, if there's specific ones that you need to be taking for spring, because that's the other thing too, is you're able to put on your application that you're taking classes even though you haven't finished them, but having them scheduled is enough to kind of push through your application, I believe. It does look like there's an SDSU application workshop on October 20th. Again, you'll have to check exactly where all of these are located, because I think sometimes they do change. Looks like Maryland's coming. They have a bunch of open labs pretty much every 2 days, 2 or 3 days. And then San Diego State is doing a specific representative appointments on October 27th from 10 a.m. to 12:15. I assume those will fill up quick, so you're probably going to need to check that out directly. Kari, anything else that you could recommend to anyone that has yet to begin their application? You, of the four of us, are the only one that's actually successfully done it. Like to leave this something newsy on something positive, so maybe give some students some hope out there that it can be done.
It can be done.
Yes.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I think, the main thing for me was to talk to a counselor, and
And exploit them ruthlessly.
Yeah.
Because they have all the insider info. It's the best advice anybody's ever going to give you for anything relating to education or even work. Cultivate connections and then exploit those connections.
You gotta keep following up. Like, if they don't respond to your email, send them another one. Like, go banging on their door. Be like, I need help.
And it works.
Yeah.
And
I just the
they're
other
there
day,
to help.
Just the other day, I got into a history class that I should not have gotten into, just by emailing the professor and saying, "Hey, pretty please, could you give me an ad code?" So,
Use those counselors. Check the website out. Transferring is possible. So many students utilize that here through all of the California State universities as well. But it is possible. It can be done. This is Something Newsy. Thanks so much. Join us again. Hello and welcome. Today, no. We have to get that one out there.
you want me to? All right.